For years, Marshall Leonard made his profession playing soccer for the New England Revolution. He is now a doctor in New York City. And Dr. Leonard, how are you is often a throwaway question, but I ask with complete sincerity at the moment, how are you?
We're doing okay. We're leaning on each other, so we're doing okay.
I hesitate to make a comparison to sports because this is far more important, but I would believe and I would guess that the idea of shared sacrifice, a common goal that is something that, whether it was Virginia or playing for New England, is something that to a degree lends itself to being part of this community, does it not?
Well, it's for me. I mean, that's all. That's like what I kind of lean on. I really think that that's exactly what it is. I mean, I use the analogy to sports just because that's all my life was prior to medicine.
Sure.
I understand very quickly in medical school and definitely in my residency. You understand what sickness is, you understand what death is, and you see that on a daily basis, really, in your residencies. But it does lend itself to sports in a sense because at the end of the day, you all have this common goal of to get somebody healthy or at least like calm their nerves in a stressful time.
You can't see me, but I'm smiling, and I feel so small and stupid that when this is done and this is behind us, I get to go back to doing sports, and that makes me happy. I'm thinking about someone new to being a doctor that when this is done, you could say that the most ridiculous pandemic that the world's ever seen in our life is behind us, and I imagine from there it would have to be smooth sailing. So I root for you for that, right?
Yeah, I tell you, it's. I think the doctors that are just training the residency now, and every single practitioner. I mean, across the board, this is something that we are going to learn from, and we're gonna be adjusting. I was talking to one of my colleagues, who graduated with me, and I was just saying whether or not after this pandemic, if we're going to go back to what it was prior. Before this virus, if a patient came into the hospital, into a room who was sick, and we knew they were, we went right in. We didn't have masks on sometimes. We just treated. That's the first thing we did. We treated. We protect ourselves, and we knew we needed to protect ourselves. Now, before we walk into the hospital, we have masks on. We obviously, within the emergency department, we're wearing a lot more equipment, and it's a different way of really going about our job, really. And so I don't know if this is going to really define what it is going forward within the hospital, within the emergency department. We'll see.
I think it'll define the way we interact as human beings across the board, at least for the short term, as we get out from under this. But obviously, there's a great deal to be done before it is behind us. I appreciate the perspective and the context here, and appreciate the work that you're doing, Marshall Leonard, doctor. We appreciate your time.
Can I just say one last thing?
Please, whatever you like.
Just one last thing, because I'm a sports fan. I was obviously an athlete previously before. And we all the healthcare providers we're missing sports just as much as anybody else. As an athlete, I could just imagine not having a season. All of a sudden, one day you wake up and you can't finish out a championship or whatever the case. You work so hard for that, and we're not able to watch it on TV. I think that gives us a lot of relaxation when we come back from a hard shift. We sit back and we watch a game. I know I do. I know a lot of my colleagues do. So I just want to say to all the players out there, I have 3 girls now. They're not able to play in their little youth leagues, and all the way up to the professionals athletes as well. Use this time. I know it's completely awkward. Use this time just to keep yourself in whatever shape possible, because when this is done, I'm telling you right now, we need you. I mean, we're doing our thing now, but after this, we're gonna need you, because we need some. We're gonna want to watch those games and at high levels as well. So, I just want to put that out there.
Well, I'm sure the athletes will be there to play. We'll certainly be there to cover it. But right now, we need you and your colleagues. So we'll lean on you. And when you're done, you lean on us. All right?
Fair enough.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.